Polars. Hola, everybody. How are you? It's Friday night, and I'm about to read a little bit for you. I hope you've had a great day. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Hope all has been good. So, again, drop me a line. Let me know what's going on, what's on your mind, what you're up to this weekend. Let me see. I'm about to read, I think it's part 8 of this segment. And here is the book that I'll be reading from. So I think we left off where Alan and Trina had just gotten married. They had gone to the church and they had left to go back to the little reception with just the immediate family. And Junie was thinking to himself, damn, 2 of them married. Next will it be me? But he wants to make really sure that, when the time comes that he's doing the right thing. So, Alan, hey man, we did it. Tied the knot. It was awful not being able to stop laughing at the altar. I felt so bad for Trina because I was thinking she's got to be offended or my laughing had to be hurting her feelings. She was looking at me like, what the hell? We continued staying with my parents for a few more weeks. From here, we moved to an apartment house owned by some people we knew. Actually, we'd be living next to my Uncle C. The apartment was an attic apartment. It's a real good size apartment, 2 bedrooms, kitchen, dining room, and a huge living room. The only thing I would have a problem with were the slanted ceilings and walls. If I wasn't careful, I could knock my damned head off with one false move. Man, it's the middle of January already, and Trina's stomach had gotten so big. Now she's telling me we can't have sex. It's too uncomfortable. She ate ice and ground her teeth half the night. She had no control over these food cravings. I thought I'll be damn glad when the baby gets here. No sex and running out getting her Chinese food all times of the day and night. Trina, I'm going to the store for a minute. You want anything other than ice? I asked her. No, funny man. I can't think of anything right offhand. Maybe some Chinese food, she answered as I picked up the keys off the coffee table. All right, be back, I told her. Let's see. I was thinking as I walked to the car. She has about 2 more months to go. As I looked up at the sky, it looked like it was gonna snow again. I got in the car and backed out the driveway, and off I went. I made it to the store before the snow started. But by the time I got to the Chinese restaurant, the snow started to fall hard, falling by the buckets. I rushed into the place to order so I could get back home to snuggle in our little nest. Oh, yeah, and not have sex. As I walked in the door, she had lit some candles and was in the bed watching television, waiting for my return or for the Chinese food. She told me her and my mother had gone next door to see Uncle C earlier today. Trina and my Uncle C's daughter, Gloria, had gotten pretty close. They hung around together a lot. She came in the kitchen to help me carry everything back to the bedroom, where we stayed for the rest of the night, except for one trip she made to get more ice. My brother had been saying it would be a while until he got married. He wanted to make sure what he was doing was the right thing. It was a few weeks into January, and listen to this. Junie's and Paula's wedding was just a few days off. I was the best man, and Trina was the maid of honor. Neither one of us had a bachelor party. Why, I don't know. Some of the guys got together 2 days before Junie's wedding, and we went to New York to party. Then, the night before the wedding, us guys went to a local bar for some drinks and just to talk and laugh. Man, we got our heads bad. I don't remember how we even got home. Their day came, and Junie and Paula got married right there at my parents' house. Nobody in attendance except the immediate family and the preacher. The weeks were passing, getting close to the end of Trina's pregnancy. My family and I kept a close check on her, even through the day when we were at work. We were working on getting the nursery ready, and the next thing we knew, March rolled around and the baby was ready to check us out. As Trina told me, she was all ready to go to the hospital. I remained calm. I called my mother to tell her we were going to the hospital. Then I got Trina in her bags. Then off we went to the military hospital. Thank God there was no snow on the ground because it's not the closest hospital, but we made it there just fine. A little while later, they came and told me we'd had a baby boy, a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Man, my face was wet with tears of joy. I went to see my family. They both were beautiful. As I held him, I couldn't even speak. All I could do was look at him in awe. Trina said, "We said we name him after you." All I could do was kiss her and look at him some more. A few days later, my wife and baby came home. My mom, Aunt Kate, and Marie had come over and had the place picture perfect waiting for them. They'd done enough shopping to last at least a month: food, baby goods, clothes, and household needs. My little sister came over almost every day already, but now when she came to see us, she was very attentive to the baby and very good with him. Trina could do her work or rest while Taz was there. She was too short to reach into the playpen to get little Alan out, but everything else she had covered. Little Alan was 5 weeks old when my grandfather passed away. I was so glad Grandpa saw his first grandson, great grandson. Here we go again, losing someone so significant to our family, a part of us. Again, family and friends came from all over the place for my grandfather's funeral. My grandpa had been a farmer in North Carolina and a landscaper here in New Jersey. Everybody came. He was such an honorable man that loved what he did for a living. Grandpa loved watching and helping plants and flowers grow. His yard had always had animals and plenty of fruits, vegetables, and flowers. He handed that trait down to his family. I enjoy seeing pretty flowers and I like animals. I just don't take part in raising them or hunting them. After baby Alan turned 1, we decided to get him a puppy. It was a cute little German shepherd that liked to bite my toes for some reason. Trina said he bit my feet because they stank. No, he didn't bite anybody else's feet, just mine. Maybe she was right about my feet. Some days I'd come home, sit back on the sofa, take off my shoes, put my feet up to relax, and here he'd come to greet me. Then before you know it, he'd be nipping on my toes, getting on my damn nerves. I told Trina, "Look, Trina, if this mutt doesn't stop biting me, I'm going to get rid of him." Trina said, laughing at the dog working so hard to get my feet. "Really? I don't understand it. He's crazy over your toes. They must smell like food to him." "They don't smell like anything I like to put in my mouth, but maybe he'll go out of it." It's so funny, though, looking at the two of you going at it. I grabbed the damn crazy dog and found some rope and tied him to the living room door to keep him away from me. The nut probably didn't mean any harm, but those little teeth are sharp. There were times we'd have him tied to a bicycle outside, and when the mailman came, the puppy would chase him down the driveway, dragging the tricycle behind him. I'd say another 5 or 6 weeks passed, and this puppy was still giving my toes hell. I'd come in from work to do my same routine, started getting into Star Trek, and next thing you know, that puppy had my big toe. Look, this is crazy. The dog's out of here. Pack his stuff. I'm going to find another home for him. We ended up giving him to some people we knew, and as the puppy grew older, he grew meaner and meaner. So Junie says, I had dated quite a few beauties, straight up beauties. I was being real with Paula, but there were still a few women still giving Paula and I trouble, no matter how I tried to get them out the way. One day, Paula and I had gone to Two Guys. Two Guys was a department store back in the day. It was kind of like a Walmart, had everything in this store. It even had like a food area and a play area for the kids. I used to love it. And in that play area, we had all kinds of pinball machines and skee ball machines and you name it. And they had vending machines where you could get sandwiches, ice cream, candy, sodas. So here is for all you guys who remember Two Guys, and for you guys who don't know, now you know. So we had gone to Two Guys at a department store and just happened to run into a pain in the ass that lived across the street from me. This girl had been chasing me and my brother for years. Since early high school, somehow I let trouble happen in the store right in front of Paula. Kathy was fine and she knew it. She kept throwing herself at me right in front of Paula. My allergies are so bad. I guess I wasn't putting my foot down firm enough right then. So Paul and I got back to the car, and she was fuming and fussing. I was already agitated at the show that had just gone on with Kathy, and I'm mad because Paul was all up in my face. She just kept fussing at me, all up in my face. Man, before I could apologize to her, she told me, I won't tolerate being disrespected, and especially not in public. I have a car, my own place, my own money, and I work every day. I mean it, Junie. I won't take that shit. Paula was right. I should have controlled the situation better, and now I felt like shit after letting the situation get out of hand. I could tell she wasn't just talking or threatening me. She meant every word she said, and I respected her for that. Believe me, I would never let this happen again. Never have this situation go on. Well, guess what? It was close to a year. Paul and I were still hanging in there after all the drama I had brought to the table with me. The chick showing out in the store, another one always riding by my house, and the night she threw yellow paint on my new black sports car. Maybe I didn't bring the drama. Come to think of it, maybe the drama was chasing me. Anyway, Paul and I were talking about old times and our parents' reactions to us dating. My dad didn't say anything about me dating a white girl. He'd kept his opinion to himself and just sat back and watched. My mother, on the other hand, she was different. If it was on her mind, you were going to hear about it, and maybe more than once. Mom's reaction to me dating a white girl, a Sicilian girl, had been, Junie, let me see you in the kitchen for a minute. I went in the kitchen and she told me, get that white girl out of my house. Now the two of them get along like mother and daughter, They really love each other. My mother and Paula do almost everything together. Paula is always at the house, or with Trina or Marie. Paula didn't have much of a choice but to be around all the time. Her parents had disowned her for being with me. So she got a room at the hospital where we worked, and I helped her move her things in. She didn't have much to move because everything they'd given her, her mother had taken back. I told her this is a huge step she had taken. She had told me I was everything to her. My family made her feel more loved and welcome than she'd ever felt in anybody's home. And she'd been to quite a few homes, both adoption homes and foster homes. Rumor had it her birth father had her mother killed because he thought she was cheating on him. Everybody said there was no way she would have done anything like that. She truly loved her husband and family. After having his wife, from what they say, killed, he put the three children into an adoption home. While growing up, Paula and her brother and sister had been separated and lost track of each other. We finished fixing our new room up and her new room up and went out for a bite to eat, but she wanted to go to my house. Maybe your mother or father will have cooked, Paula said. She had no sound of regret in her voice. I looked at her with those big brown eyes and gave her a warm kiss of reassurance. And off we sped down Highway 34, making it to check my mom's kitchen out. Right on time as usual. The food was still hot. My family had just started eating. Paula got a plate from the cabinet to fix her a plate of food. Smothered pork chops, mashed potatoes, biscuits, and turnip greens. And she sat down at the table with them. Hey there, how's everybody? Alan said, walking in the door as everybody except my father was leaving the table. Alan and I went in the living room, while the women took a bag of candies and went to the front room. Uncle Rob came in the front door. Hey, what's for dinner? He asked. I replied, help yourself, dinner's on the stove. No, that's okay, I don't really want anything. Just stopped in to see how everybody's doing. Maddie told me that she had came by earlier. Perry, how's everything going? Pops answered, man, something is having a field day in my garden. I sprayed for bugs, but I think it might be rabbits or groundhogs. Well, I'm going to go home, but come on over if you get a chance, he said to my father. See everybody later. Take some gravy and biscuits, and I'll walk over with you and see what's going on with your garden, Dad told him. I might as well get a taste, Uncle Rob said. My Uncle Rob lived in the house behind ours. Alan had gone home to his wife and baby. We had eaten dinner, and it was about an hour later when Aunt Kate, Taz, and I went to visit Uncle Rob. Mom said she'd stay home and enjoy the quiet while we were gone. Our house wasn't noisy, but it usually was busy. So I'm going to call it a short reading tonight. But I do thank you for joining me as usual. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I hope you enjoyed my story. And I hope you will subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. I wish you peace, love, and joy.